Thank you for joining me for another edition of Q&A Social Security Disability Today. I am your host, Attorney Anthony Reeves. Let's get to your questions. If I am waiting on a back pay from Social Security and I'm in the process of trying to buy a house, will they expedite the benefits for my back pay so I can make a down payment on the house? That's a very interesting question. Never had it posed quite like that. I've had similar ones with regards to cars, but not necessarily a house. I'm going to try to see if I can answer this in this context of, short answer, it depends. Here's the thing. I always tell people when Social Security gets to the technical aspect of calculating your benefits, they usually have a few things going on, meaning they have to determine how clean your case is for purposes of technical breakdown. Well, what do I mean by that? Well, do you have any offsets? Did you get any workers' comp? Is there any veterans benefits involved? Retirement benefits from like the state? Do you owe any child support obligations and any federal debt obligations? Do you have a straight Title II application or SSI as a concurrent? The reason why I say that is because those things tend to take a while to work themselves out. What the person is asking here is, can they get their benefits expedited if they know they got a house and they need the money for the down payment? Well, in some instances, if you can demonstrate to Social Security that you are in a critical dire need situation, i.e. you need that money like right now because of the dire nature of your circumstances, in some instances, note I say, in some instances, they may expedite the handling of your case. Now, in this scenario, the person's merely saying, I want to put a down payment on a house. Can that by itself be necessary to expedite? Not necessarily. Meaning, if let's say you have a place already and you just found this great place and you just want to have the money to put a down payment on the home before somebody else gets it. That in of itself may not be enough to speed your case up to get an expedited payment of your back pay. However, if you're homeless and you found a great deal on a place and you want to get the place before it goes off the market because you had a hard time finding it, Social Security might cut you some slack there. Now, here's the other thing you may need to be aware of. They're not going to just take your word. You've got to be able to demonstrate to them that your situations are so dire that this money is needed urgently. So what does that mean? Well, you've got to provide them documentation, meaning if you're homeless, let's say you went through the disability process and it's acknowledged that you're homeless, you've been moving from couch to couch, you have no place to stay, anything like that. Maybe you have statements from family or friends who are saying, hey, this person's been living on my couch. Those are things Social Security will take in consideration. But just willy-nilly get on the phone and say, hey, my money's a little tight, can you hook me up? No, that's not necessarily going to fly. So keep that in the back of your mind. So the long and short answer to the question is, will Social Security expedite my back pay if I'm trying to make a down payment on a house? The answer is it depends on your circumstances. I want to thank you for joining me for another edition of Q&A Social Security Disability Today. I am your host, Attorney Anthony Reeves. Have a nice day.